Former Michigan leaders face criminal charges for the Flint water crisis, renewing conversations about environmental racism. I'm Dometi Pongo, and this is MTV News Need to Know. Former Michigan Governor Rick Snyder has been charged for 2 counts of willful neglect for his role in the Flint water crisis. Michigan's former health chief, Nick Lyon, is being charged with 1 count of willful neglect and 9 counts of involuntary manslaughter. Both have pleaded not guilty. It was Snyder's decision in 2014 to switch the city of Flint's water supply in order to save money. The new water was not properly treated, exposing over 100,000 residents, most of whom were low-income African Americans, to lead and other contamination. This is believed to have caused a regional outbreak of Legionnaire's disease that killed 12 people and afflicted countless others with health issues like hair loss, seizures, anemia, respiratory disease, and memory loss. Emails revealed that Governor Snyder had already been told that there was danger of illness with the new water supply, but he kept this information from the public for 10 months, all while government officials continually said that the water was fine. During that time, residents were complaining about the quality of their water, and these complaints were largely ignored. As tends to be the case, it wasn't leaders, but activists that put this crisis on the national agenda, forcing then-President Barack Obama to respond. In 2016, he encouraged Flint residents to drink filtered water, taking a sip himself in that infamous video. He later signed an act that provided $170 million for communities like Flint dealing with water emergencies. But despite this effort, the problem persisted for several years. Due to government failures, volunteers, including celebs like Jaden Smith, were organizing to provide clean water to the people of Flint as recently as fall of 2020. So ultimately, what started as a way to save money cost hundreds of millions of dollars, not to mention the ongoing human toll. This Twitter user reminded us of the long-term effects. Children in the community of Flint will suffer irreversible brain damage due to lead poisoning. Hashtag Flint water crisis. The Flint water crisis is a textbook example of environmental racism. Insider reports people of color are far more likely to live in areas with higher rates of air pollution, toxic waste facilities, landfills, and lead poisoning. Environmental racism has made Black, Indigenous, and other communities of color more vulnerable during the coronavirus pandemic. Author Harriet A. Washington writes that while viruses are democratic by nature, it's also true that marginalized minority ethnic groups have increased exposure to environmental pollution and reduced access to health care. All this creates physical and social vulnerabilities that leave people of color less able to resist and survive infections such as the coronavirus. Snyder's court hearing on Wednesday marked the first time in Michigan's history that a governor has been charged with crimes related to their time in office. In response to Snyder's case and the pandemic, public health workers are putting pressure on the incoming president, Joe Biden, to finally address environmental racism. And pressure means nothing without consequences. Lavora Barnes, chairwoman of the Michigan Democrats, tweeted, 6 years ago, the Flint water crisis began. Since then, thousands of lives have been destroyed. We must root out environmental racism everywhere it exists, provide the resources needed to recover, and hold former Governor Snyder accountable for his actions. I'm Dometi Pongo, and that's what you need to know.